Hello students, welcome to Steve Vidyalakshmi Metric Higher Secondary School YouTube channel. We are watching class 12 physics unit 2 current electricity, and in part 5 in today's class we are going to discuss about meter bridge and potentiometer. For meter bridge, the working principle is Wheatstone bridge, which we discussed in our previous class. Whereas for the potentiometer, the working principle is EMF is directly proportional to balancing length. Now let us discuss how a meter bridge is working. Meter bridge is used to find out specific resistance of a wire. This is a circuit for meter bridge. Meter bridge works on the principle of Wheatstone bridge. The working principle of meter bridge is Wheatstone bridge. You just recall the previous topic, that's Wheatstone bridge. In Wheatstone bridge, we had like this. A resistor here and another resistor here. The resistors are connected like this. The battery is connected here. A galvanometer. Okay, let this point be A, B, C, D, P, Q, R, S. This is Wheatstone bridge. The modified form of Wheatstone bridge is meter bridge. You see that this point is A, the same this point is A, okay, and this point is C. Okay, actually this is taken as B, isn't it? This point is, just see that a galvanometer is connected here. Okay, according to this Wheatstone bridge, this point is B, and this end is C, and actually here it is given as, in meter bridge circuit it is taken as B. When I just compare with Wheatstone bridge, that point is C. Where the galvanometer is at the end, another end, that is D, isn't it? Where the galvanometer is having contact with the wire, this point is D. Between A and B there is a resistance. There is a resistor. Between A and B there is a resistor. Between B and C there is a resistor. Between B and C there is a resistor. Between A and D there is a resistor in Wheatstone bridge, whereas in meter bridge there is a wire. When current is flowing through that, there will be some resistance, isn't it? There will be some resistance that will be taken as R. And between DC also there is a wire. Actually in potentiometer there is 1 meter length wire. Generally it is made up of alloys like manganese or constantan. Okay, we use manganese or constantan. The galvanometer is there, high resistance is there, jockey, J it's a jockey, J is a jockey, you just see here this is jockey. The jockey, this is a meter bridge, it has 1 meter length wire. You just see a meter scale is also fixed there, 1 meter scale is also fixed there. 1 meter length wire is there. This is called a jockey, that is galvanometer, that is galvanometer. Okay. So, modified form of Wheatstone bridge is meter bridge. Actually, we are using manganese or constantan. It's because in meter bridge and in potentiometer, we are using manganese or constantan. Actually, these two are alloys. Mostly we use manganese. It's because they have low temperature coefficient. Okay, alpha value is very less. You just recall that graph. You just recall this graph between temperature in Kelvin and resistivity. Okay, for copper, resistance increases with increase in temperature, isn't it? Okay, it means that the conductors have positive alpha, temperature coefficient of resistance, alpha. You just recall this equation, R sub x t is equal to R naught into 1 plus alpha into t. R sub x t is equal to R naught into 1 plus alpha into t. Alpha is temperature coefficient of resistance, When temperature increases for conductors, resistivity increases. So, we say alpha is positive. So, when temperature increases, resistance increases. Whereas for semiconductors, when temperature increases, resistivity decreases. We say for semiconductors, alpha is negative. Whereas for these alloys, this alpha value is very less, very less. That's why we are preferring it here, because when current is flowing through that, according to Joule's law, H is equal to I square RT, some heat energy will be developed, isn't it? If that increase in heat energy should not increase the resistance of the wire considerably, if it increases, that will affect the performance of the circuit. We will not get the exact value. That's why we are using very less alpha value, very less alpha, which is almost very less value alpha manganese.
வருஷ கணக்கா கஷ்டப்பட்டு சம்பாதிச்சு ஒரு பள்ளிக்கூடத்தில் எடுத்துகிட்டு போய் உங்களோட பசங்களை சேர்க்குறீங்க. நீங்கள் சரியான ஸ்கூலில் தான் உங்கள் பசங்களை சேர்த்துருக்கீங்களா அப்படின்னு சொல்லி திங்க் பண்ண எவ்வளோ நேரம் நீங்கள் டைம் ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்ணுறீங்க. இங்கே வித்யாலட்சுமி ஸ்கூலுக்கு வாங்க, இங்கே இருக்கிற டீச்சர்ஸோடு நீங்கள் பேசி பாருங்கள். அது மட்டும் இல்லை, ஸ்கூலை சுற்றி பாருங்கள். இங்கே ஆன்லைன் கிளாஸஸ் அட்டன் பண்ணுறதுக்கு கூட அவங்க வாய்ப்புகள் ஏற்படுத்தி தருவாங்க. இங்கே தாங்க பேனல் போர்டு, டிஜிட்டல் பேட் எல்லாம் வச்சு கிளாஸ் எடுக்கிறாங்க. குழந்தைங்களுக்கு நல்லா புரிகிற மாதிரி எடுக்கிறாங்க. என் பசங்களும் இதே பள்ளிக்கூடத்தில் தாங்க படிக்கிறாங்க. நான் அவங்கள வெறும் ஆசிரியராக மட்டும் பார்க்கல. உங்கள் குழந்தைகள் தவறு செய்யும் பொழுது, அதாவது ஒரு உதாரணத்துக்கு நான் சொல்கிறேன், இப்போ ஆன்லைன் கிளாஸஸ் அவங்க எடுக்கும்போது இந்த குழந்தைங்க ஏதோ ஒரு தவறு செய்யும் போது அவங்க இன்னொரு பெற்றோர்களாக கூட நான் பார்க்குறேன். ஏன்னா அவங்க உரிமைகளோடு கண்டிக்கிறாங்க, ஃப்ரெண்ட்லியாக பிஹேவ் பண்ணுறாங்க. இதெல்லாம் பார்க்கும்போது எனக்கு ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமாக இருக்குது. நல்ல இடத்துல, அதாவது என்னோட குழந்தைங்களை சேஃப் ஹேண்ட்ஸில் வச்சுருக்கேன் அப்படின்னு நான் ஃபீல் பண்ணுறேன். நான் சொல்கிறத கொஞ்சம் திங்க் பண்ணுங்கள். வித்யாலட்சுமி ஸ்கூல் தான் பெஸ்ட்டுன்னு உங்களுக்கு தோணும். இல்லைங்க, நீங்கள் 4-5 ஸ்கூலோட கூட கம்பேர் பண்ணி பாருங்கள். வித்யாலட்சுமி ஸ்கூல் தாங்க சூப்பர். நான் சொல்கிறத கேளுங்க. உங்கள் பசங்களையும் வித்யாலட்சுமி ஸ்கூலில் எடுத்துகிட்டு சேருங்க. உங்கள் குழந்தைங்கள பெஸ்ட் ஆக்குங்க.
That's the same reason why copper is not used. This is the same reason why copper is not used here. Now, here, what we do that in P or Q, any one we will fix known resistor. We will fix any one will be known resistor will be fixed there. Okay, you just see here. This is a wire is connected here. It's unknown resistance. You want to find out the resistance of the wire, resistivity of the wire. We have to find out. Here we have. Here it is. Here is a resistance box is connected. Variable resistance box is connected. Just like this, it will be like this, similar to this. Variable resistance. We can just change the resistor value connected here. Variable resistance box is connected there. Now, what we do that we fix some value in Q. Let us take that P is unknown resistance. And the Q we have connected a resistance box like this. Q we connected a variable resistance box like this. Like this we have connected a variable resistance. We fix some value just for understanding. I tell you, you just take that, you fix it as 10 ohm. Just for understanding I am telling. Now what we do that we just move the jockey from the left point to right point. We are going like this. When the circuit connection is made, you see just it's the batteries here, key, and then unknown resistor. Here is known resistance, and then a galvanometer. And then high resistance is there, jockey is there. Once all are connected like this, we have to check whether the circuit connection is correct, whether it is correctly fixed, because we are screwing the wire, isn't it? We are fixing the wire, isn't it? So in case if somewhere if it is loosely contact, then the circuit will not work properly. Then we have to check the jockey is kept here, then the galvanometer deflection will be in one direction. If it is kept in another end, the galvanometer deflection will be in opposite end. So if the direction of the deflection, the galvanometer changes to opposite direction at two different ends, we can ensure that We can be okay with that, that the circuit connections are good, are perfect. After that, we fix some value here. For just for example, I am giving it as 10 ohm resistor is fixed at Q, whereas P is unknown resistance. Unknown resistance. A wire is connected there. Generally, we take a coil. Generally, we take a coil of 1 meter length. When the jockey is just moved from this point A to along this side, at one stage the galvanometer deflection will be 0. This is galvanometer. Galvanometer deflection will become 0. When the galvanometer deflection becomes 0, you just recall Wheatstone-Bridge constant, Ig equal to 0. When galvanometer current is 0, then only we get the balancing equation P by Q equal to R by S. P by Q equal to R by S. So, if you just apply that equation here, P by Q equal to R by S. P by Q is equal to R by S. P by Q is equal to R by S. P by Q. P by Q is equal to R. R is this. P by Q, this is R and this is S, isn't it? P by Q equal to R by S. So, this is resistance of the wire which is used here, resistance of the wire. In case if you are getting, for example, approximately according to this, in case if you are getting around 70 centimeter, L1 equal to 70 centimeter, then L2 will be 30 centimeter because it's 1 meter length. That's equal to R. R is equal to, let us take that small r into L1 divided by S is equal to small r into L2, where the small r is resistance of the wire per unit length, resistance of the wire per unit length, small r, it is not resistivity. Resistivity rho is resistance of the wire for unit length having unit cross sectional area, that is resistivity. This is not resistivity, this is only resistance, resistance for unit length, it means that resistance for 1 meter length of the wire. So, that is R into L1 by R into L2 because we are using the same wire, isn't it? This here also same, that is the same wire. Therefore, R for both the side R and S we are taking small r the same. L1 is the balancing length in the left side, L2 is the balancing length, rest of the length in the right side. Here R will get cancelled, R will get cancelled, then the equation can be written as P is equal to Q into L1 by L2, L1 by L2, P is equal to Q into L1 by L2. Q, just for understanding, 10 ohm, that value can be substituted. L1 is the balancing length that can be directly seen, that can be directly noted at in the meter bridge scale here. There is a meter scale fixed here. L2 can also be directly noted. By substituting these values, we can calculate the value of P, that is a resistance here, that is a resistance connected here. And also we have this equation, R is equal to rho into L by A, R is equal to rho into L by A. Resistance is equal to rho, resistivity, L, length of the wire, A is cross sectional area of the wire. R is the resistance, isn't it? So, let us take that P, what we have calculated, because the aim of the experiment is to find out rho value. Let P is the resistance which we have calculated, so instead of R I take P. So, P is equal to rho L divided by A, then rho will be equal to the P resistance into A divided by L. A is cross sectional area of the wire, A is cross sectional of the wire. You just see the wire is here, wire will be in the form of a cylinder, isn't it? Wire is in the form of a cylinder. Wire will be in the form of a cylinder. A is cross sectional area, A is cross sectional area. Cross sectional area of the wire will be circle. For circle, area formula is pi r square. For circle, area is pi r square. Circumference of the circle is 2 pi r. Area of the circle, pi r square. So, here we can substitute pi r square, rho is equal to P, that is the resistance value which you have calculated here, A equal to pi r square, A is equal to pi r square, A equal to pi r square divided by L is length of the wire. L is this L is not length of the meter bridge wire, that is the length of the wire which is connected here, that is length of the wire which is connected here. Okay, actually it will be a coil, it will be a coil. That length should be substituted here. P value we have calculated with this equation, pi is constant value 3.142 or 22/7, R is radius using screw gauge. Using screw gauge, we can find out radius of this wire. That should be substituted. Then finally we will get that rho value. Will get rho is specific resistance of the wire for unit length, for unit cross sectional area. Then its unit will be ohm meter. We will get the unit as ohm meter, because for resistance unit is ohm, for area it is meter square, for length meter, then finally unit we will get ohm meter as unit. So this is how a meter bridge is used to calculate specific resistance of a wire, Next we shall discuss how meter bridge is used. This is a circuit for meter bridge, potentiometer. Potentiometer, the working principle of potentiometer is that EMF is directly proportional to balancing length. EMF is directly proportional to balancing length. When there are, we are using two different cells here, maybe Leclerc cell or Daniell cell, isn't it? When the balancing length is measured, based on the EMF, balancing length changes. Okay. EMF is directly proportional to balancing length. That is the working principle of potentiometer. For meter bridge, working principle is Wheatstone bridge, P by Q equal to R by S. For potentiometer, working principle is EMF is directly proportional to balancing length. That is the working principle. This is actually the circuit here. You just see that in case of meter bridge, only 1 meter wire was there. In this case, there will be 10 meter length wire will be here. This is copper strip which is used to fix that, and then screw binding screws are there. Galvanometer. This is rheostat. Rheostat is used to vary the resistance. Actually, there is a coil, isn't it? There is a coil through which current is flowing. R is equal to rho into L by A. R is equal to rho into L by A. That is the formula applied here to change the resistance in the circuit. This is key. The switch. Okay. This battery eliminator. Okay. Leclerc cell, Daniell cell. Leclerc cell, Daniell cell. This is also a key. This is also a key to change the direction. Actually, this switch is called DP-DT switch. This switch is called DP-DT switch. This switch is called DP-DT switch. Double pole, double throw. The switch is called DP-DT switch. Double pole, double throw. The switch is called DP-DT switch. Double pole, double throw. Double pole, double throw. You can change the direction of flow. At one stage, the points M and N will have contact with M1 and N1. Then only current from the battery psi epsilon 1 will flow through the circuit. When you change the contact here, then M will have contact with the M2, then N will have contact with N2. That time only current from the battery 2, epsilon 2 will flow through the circuit. So, the DP-DT switch is used to change the direction of flow of current. First, what we do that we connect the first battery with the potentiometer. The balancing length is noted using jockey. When the jockey is just moved like this, there will be deflection in the galvanometer. Once the deflection comes to 0, we can note down that epsilon 1 is equal to IR into L1. Ohm's law, V equal to I into R. Ohm's law, V equal to I into R. Ohm's law is V is equal to I into R, isn't it? V. Instead of V, we have EMF here. I is the current flowing through the circuit I, or R is the resistance. Instead of the resistance, we are taking small r into L1, where small r is resistance per unit length. So, whatever the length we are getting, for example, approximately if you are getting, for example, see here, first wire, second wire, third wire, it goes like this, isn't it? So, it starts from 0 to, and then it goes at 1000. For example, if you are getting 455, balancing length, if you are getting 455, it is in centimeter, 455 centimeter, it has to be converted to meter for calculation, but whereas here it is going to get cancelled. We need not to convert, anyway it is going to get cancelled. That balancing length multiplied with resistance for unit length. resistance for 1 meter length of the wire, that is small r. So R into L1 will give us the resistance of the wire for 455 centimeter length. Okay, then epsilon 1 is equal to I into R into L1, and similar, then what we do, we using the DP/dt switch, we change the connection, Now current will flow from the second battery to the circuit. At that time, we find out that balancing length, that is epsilon 2 is equal to I into R into L2, Now the balancing length is L2. It will differ because the current changes, isn't it? And the amount of current changes, then obviously this will also change. Then epsilon 1 by epsilon 2, epsilon 1 by epsilon 2 is equal to, we have I into R into L1 divided by I into R into L2, I cancel, R is also getting cancelled. Then we get epsilon 1 by epsilon 2 is equal to L1 by L2, What is epsilon 1? Epsilon 1 is EMF of the first cell. Epsilon 2 EMF of the second cell. L1 balancing length for first cell. L2 balancing length for second cell. L1 by L2, it's a ratio. Therefore, it has no unit. Actually, we are calculating the ratio of EMF of two cells, or in case if you are given EMF of one battery, we can calculate EMF of the another battery also. For that way also we can use. Epsilon 1 by epsilon 2 is equal to L1 by L2. We are calculating ratio of the EMF of the two cells, and it has no unit because it's a ratio, So this is how the potentiometer is used to compare EMF of the given cells. Now let us discuss how a potentiometer can be used to measure internal resistance of a cell. Now let us discuss how a potentiometer can be used to measure internal resistance of a cell. Internal resistance. Okay. Not external resistance, internal resistance of a cell. For that, what we do that, first this will be open, the key will be open, key 2. Key 2 will be open. Okay, no current is flowing through the resistor R. Now current will be flowing through the potentiometer. The working principle of potentiometer is EMF is directly proportional to balancing length. So we get that. Epsilon 1 or epsilon is directly proportional to L1. We calculate the first balancing length. Epsilon is directly proportional to L1. Then what we do? We just close the key. The key is closed. Now the key is closed. Now current will flow through the resistor also. And now current flowing here. Current I will be equal to current I will be equal to I into R, isn't it? So epsilon divided by R plus R, because R is the resistance of the wire here, small r is the internal resistance of the cell which is contained here. Internal resistance of the cell. The resistance will have, the battery will have some internal resistance because of the components inside the battery. Okay, that is internal resistance. This capital R is external resistance. Small r is internal resistance. Of the cell. These two are in series. Seems to be parallel, but they are in series. They are in series, not parallel. Therefore, they are added because resistor in series, effective resistance in series R is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3, isn't it? Therefore, they are added. Resistor in parallel, in case if they are parallel, 1 by Rp equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. Whereas for capacitors, it is different. It is just opposite. Resistor in series R is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. For resistors in series, if the resistors are in series, we have R sub x s is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. Whereas for resistors in parallel, 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. Whereas for capacitors, 1 by C suffix S is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3 plus 1 by C3. Whereas for capacitors in parallel, Cp is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3. In case of batteries connected in series, that's equal to epsilon 1 plus epsilon 2 plus epsilon 3. This comparison we should know. As here the small r, that is the internal resistance of the cell, and the capital R, the external resistance in the circuit, are in series, then here taken as it is R plus R. Now the voltage across R, voltage across V is equal to voltage across R, V equal to Ohm's law, V equal to I into R, V equal to I into R. Therefore, epsilon divided by R plus R, that is the current value, Ohm's law, V equal to I into R. Therefore, R we connect here. Okay, and this will be directly proportional to, okay, just as here this is directly proportional to L1, we get that this is directly proportional to L2, this is directly proportional to, this is directly proportional to L2, this will be directly proportional to L2. When the key is closed, we find out balancing length. When the key is open, no current is flowing through the external resistance R. That time we are calculating balancing length, that we take it as L1. Now we close the key, then we just adjust the jockey on the wire, we find out balancing length, that is L2, Now what we have, this is equal, that is epsilon divided by R plus R into R, this is equal to L2. Now if we divide these two equations, we are going to get that epsilon divided by epsilon into R divided by R plus R divided by V equal to I into R, V is equal to I into R, epsilon R divided by R plus R divided by R plus R, that is equal to L1 divided by L2, that is equal to L1 divided by L2. Epsilon is directly proportional to L1. Epsilon by R plus R into R is directly proportional to L2. So we write that epsilon divided by epsilon into R by R plus R equal to L1 divided by L2. Epsilon gets cancelled. Then we get that R plus R divided by R is equal to L1 divided by L2, This can be written as R divided by R plus R divided by small r divided by capital R, that is equal to L1 divided by L2, This will become 1. Then we can write that, I take this space also, then we can write that 1 plus R divided by R is equal to L1 divided by L2, Bring 1 this side, then we get small r divided by R, capital R, that is equal to L1 divided by L2, this is 1, isn't it? Then the right side when it comes, it is going to be minus 1. And now this can be written as small r divided by R is equal to L1 minus L2 divided by L2. And this can be written as internal resistance of the cell, small r is equal to L1 minus L2 divided by L2 into R. This is the equation to calculate internal resistance of the cell in this case. This is the equation to calculate internal resistance of the given cell. L1, balancing length when the key 2 is open. L2, balancing length when the key 2 is closed. Capital R is the external resistance value that can be fixed. then small r can be calculated using this. Okay, actually when you are taking this, when you are getting the zero deflection, we have to adjust the value of the resistance. Okay, you just recall there is another equation we discussed to calculate internal resistance of a cell. We discussed another equation, you just recall this equation. Okay, small r is equal to epsilon minus V divided by V into R. This is also another equation we discussed for internal resistance of a cell. So, based on the data given in the numerical problem, we have to choose the formula. Internal resistance of a cell R is equal to L1 minus L2 by L2 into R. There is another equation, internal resistance of a cell R equal to epsilon minus V divided by V into R. Epsilon is the EMF of the battery for which we are calculating internal resistance. V is the voltage of the battery which is outside. Okay, that is across the resistor, voltage across the resistor. This is also another equation, with that we can calculate internal resistance R. Internal resistance, its unit is ohm. Whether it is internal resistance or external resistance, it is resistance. Its unit is ohm. Ohm is the unit for this, ohm. My dear students, we hope our school, Sri Vidyalakshmi Metric Higher Secondary School, hopes that our school YouTube channel helps students community to understand the concepts better. Please watch our YouTube channel regularly. Ella channel parunga, ella subjectum parunga, ella classkum parunga. Okay, we hope these videos would help you to understand the concept better. எப்பெல்லாம் உங்களுக்கு டைம் கிடைக்குதோ அப்பெல்லாம் நீங்கள் வந்து இதை ரிவைஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். You can score very good marks in the board examination. You can understand the concept better. You can also prepare for your entrance examination. Sometimes வந்து நம்ம டெக்ஸ்ட் புக் படிக்கும்போது தான் சில கான்செப்ட் டவுட் வரும். டவுட் வந்தால் உடனே நீங்கள் வீடியோ போட்டு பார்த்துக்கலாம். சரிங்களா? பார்த்துக்கலாம். You can prepare for the board examination. Simultaneously you can prepare for entrance examination also. இப்போ நம்மளோட நியூ டெக்ஸ்ட் புக், தமிழ்நாடு ஸ்டேட் கவர்மெண்ட்டோட நியூ டெக்ஸ்ட் புக் வந்து எக்ஸலண்ட் டெக்ஸ்ட் புக். நீங்கள் வந்து ஒவ்வொரு லைனும் தரவாக இருந்தீங்கன்னா நீங்கள் என்ட்ரன்ஸ்க்கெலாம் அடிஷ்னலாக ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ண வேண்டிய நெசசிட்டியே கிடையாது. எல்லா ஃபார்முலாவும் தரவாக இருக்க புக்கில் உங்களுக்கு பின்னாடி ப்ராப்ளம் நியூமர் எம்சிக்யூவெல்லாம் இருக்குல்ல, அதெல்லாம் எப்படி ஆன்சர் வந்ததுன்னு போட்டு பாருங்கள். நீங்கள் எல்லா ஃபார்முலாஸும் படிச்சிங்கன்னா எல்லா ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ் அதில் தரவாக இருந்தீங்கன்னா கண்டிப்பாக நீங்கள் வந்து போர்டு எக்ஸாம்லேயும் நல்ல மார்க் எடுக்க முடியும், என்ட்ரன்ஸ்லேயும் நல்ல மார்க் எடுக்க முடியும். The book is excellent book. Even the picture is also taken from our Tamilnadu textbook only. Excellent pictures, color different colorல கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. ஓகே, எக்ஸலண்ட்டாக இருக்குது. ஓகே, ஈவன் பாருங்கள் இந்த ஏசி கரண்ட்டில் the phase difference between voltage and current கூட பாருங்கள், ரெண்டுத்துக்கும் வந்து different color கொடுத்துருக்காங்க phase diagram. So our Tamilnadu textbook is excellent book. Please go through each and every line, understand and study. Physics seems to be difficult, but physics is very interesting subject, because you see that in everything we can relate to physics. Okay, we can see physics everywhere. Understand, then you get the interest. Have interest, then you automatically understand. Okay, thank you for watching our school Sri Vidyalakshmi Metric Higher Secondary School YouTube channel. Please put your comments. Okay, it should be positive comment, even it could be criticism. You can also give a suggestion to improve our performance. If you like, please subscribe, inform your friends to make use of this channel. Thank you students, thank you.